Welcome back to Geology in the Face, where we look at geology with our faces. Last time me, Geology Joes, and my friend Jacob the Disney adult explored Canyonlands National Park. It was great, it was fun, and there was lots of geology in the face. But today we are going to my favorite national park, ARCHES. Why do I like ARCHES so much? How do they form? Do they form in other parts of the world? Well, you're going to find out today, so stick around and like and subscribe for more geology adventures. Bye, campsite, bye!
Treated us well.
Wave to the camera, hello, good morning. Oh my god, wait, the flip-at guy.
Oh my god.
There he is.
He's definitely
There he is!
dead.
There he
Asleep.
is!
It's 7 a.m.
Hello! Are you awake?
He's definitely asleep. Definitely asleep.
Yeah, he's asleep.
It's just yelling at him, wake up, I need to know about your flip
I
back.
want to talk to you about your flip back so we can be friends, okay? I just want a friend.
Why can't we be friends? Hey, it's me, like, it's Geology Jess here. Sorry about the bug in the windshield. I made a valiant attempt to get rid of it.
I did make a valiant attempt. Wow, that's cool. I love that. It's beautiful.
And there's cows outside. It's a cow farm. It's gonna be cows.
See what I'm talking about?
Oh, it's a hot air balloon. Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's so cute. Well, that quote was pretty apropos. Apropos. There's hot air ballooning in. By 7, that's the time to go hot air ballooning to see the sun rise. I suppose, but God.
We left our campsite around 6 a.m. to get to ARCHES for our reservation time. If you are visiting ARCHES between April and October, you will need a reservation, unless you plan to get there before 7 a.m. or after 4 p.m. You can get a reservation weeks in advance, and you probably should because spots fill up fast. This was kind of a last-minute trip, so there were no reservations available when we were in the area. If you find yourself in this situation and you can't get to the park before 7 a.m., that's okay. The night before your intended visit date, the park releases a small amount of reservations that you can nab. This is what we did, and we were successful. Our first hike of the day was Devil's Garden Trail, which is about 8 miles round trip and takes you to 8 or so major arches, including the infamous Landscape Arch and countless smaller unnamed arches and soon-to-be arches. When you first step on the trail, you walk in between towering sandstone cliffs known as fins. Fins are formed when a narrow butte or plateau develops many vertical parallel cracks. These cracks can be caused by the uplift of salt deposits below the surface. To learn more about the uplift of these salt deposits, check out Part 1 of my Geology of Southern Utah series. Overlying rock layers erode, causing the cracks to widen and the fins to form. Rainwater and freeze-thaw processes continue to weather the less resistant rock and the cement holding the sandstone together. Here we can see where water has carved away the less resistant rock, giving rise to the sponge-like appearance called tuffani. At ARCHES, tuffani are most often found in the Entrada and Navajo sandstones, both of which are made of sand from ancient desert dunes cemented together by calcite. Moisture percolates through the porous sandstone, dissolving the calcite and then deposits it as crystals at the surface when it evaporates. Eventually, all of this weathering carves out windows and arches within the fins. Here you can see this process happening in real time. Eventually, hundreds or perhaps thousands of years from now, these will be fully formed arches. Examples of fully formed arches can be seen all throughout the trail, including Pine Tree Arch. You can see the tall, narrow fin, which has a well-defined arch carved into it, as well as the beginning of hoodoos to the right. Not all arches form this way, but we'll get to this later. We stumbled across the well-known landscape arch. This is the longest arch in North America with an opening of 306 feet wide, but it may not be here for long. In the 1990s, a large class of the arch came crashing down, proof of the ongoing erosional processes that destroy landforms every day. Landscape arch holds on by a thread, its narrowest section only 6 feet wide. One of my favorite arches was the partition arch, which gives an amazing view of the plateau speckled with fins and sprawling hills. Next, we saw Navajo Arch, which at first glance looks like a cave, but nope, another arch. You might be asking, what's the difference? What makes an arch an arch? Well, an arch must have a few things. To qualify as an arch, the opening must be 3 feet in one direction and allow light to pass through. Is this an arch? No, no light is passing through. Arches are often found near the base of a rock wall, similar to a house door, but this isn't always true. Windows, like tunnel arch and top-story window, are arches that are particularly large, are located on a high wall or fin, or frame a particularly scenic view beyond. Beautiful. How long does it take for arches to form? Well, it depends on a variety of factors. Arches can take thousands of years to form, but the rate of erosion is what impacts this timeline. Higher rates of erosion means it takes less time to form an arch. Too high of erosion rates can also impact the development of arches, or rather, the lack thereof. Why are there so many arches in Arches National Park? Is it unique? How many arches are there? Is there any place on Earth that has just as many or more? Arches National Park has the densest concentration of natural stone arches in the world, with over 2,000 documented arches in the park. Okay, but why? First, you need the right kinds of rocks. The Entrada sandstone found in arches dissolves readily by water due to its porous nature. Next, the uplift of the Colorado Plateau and the plastic-like salt layer underneath southern Utah has created the perfect storm to create parallel fractures in the sandstone. Next, we need the right amount of rain, not too little and not too much. On average, the park receives 8 to 10 inches of precipitation a year. Rainwater soaks into the porous Entrada sandstone easily, but gets trapped by the Carmel, which doesn't dissolve readily by water because of the non-porous clay in the rock. The trapped water erodes the sandstone from the inside out. In winter, the trapped water expands when it freezes, then contracts, prying the rock apart. Like this baby arch we saw previously. If the park received too much precipitation, the sandstone could erode so quickly that arches might not have time to form. If it never rained here, erosion would virtually be non-existent. The lack of earthquake activity in the area also helps maintain forming arches. The fact that over 2,000 still stand tells us this area has been relatively stable for at least 50,000 years. If you stood where we are now, 65 million years ago, you would see a dry seabed dotted with sparse vegetation. All of the sandstone would be buried thousands of feet below your feet. How did this sandstone get exposed? As mentioned in my last video, tectonic forces began warping the buried sandstone, making folds called anticlines. This movement also caused fractures to form in the sandstone. As this is happening, the region, also known as the Colorado Plateau, rose. Generally, rates of erosion increase with elevation, so the previously buried layers are now eroding at a faster rate than sedimentation is happening. After exploring Devil's Garden, we made our way over to Delicate Arch, an arch that I've been wanting to see for a decade. The hike to the arch is a short one, only 3.2 miles, but make sure you go to the right trailhead. There's the hike to the overlook and to the actual arch.
What? This is like the upper arch reapplied by thing the other parking lot's where you want it to be. Wow, if you want to go like straight to the arch. Yeah, I do. And let me know. I'm a f***ing gold, mate. That's on me. That's what I thought. I'll take that one. You're on thin ice, man.
The first half mile is pretty chill. We saw huge boulders of metamorphosed sandstone, which is known as quartzite. This quartzite is formed by increased pressure and heat on the sandstone. Then we got to a steep section where you're walking on top of the sandstone bedrock, and it just kept going and going and going. Along this section, you can see potholes. These are potholes. The process of pothole formation begins when a circular current of water carrying small pebbles and sediment wears away a rock's surface. This creates small depressions in the rock. This is most likely caused by intermittent rainstorms here. A pothole arch is a type of natural arch that forms by weathering from above, which occurs when water collects in these potholes and eventually cuts through the layer below. The result is a light opening that's often smooth and rounded at the top, with a room-shaped opening below. Double arch is an example of this type of arch. Eventually, after a mile or so, we reached Delicate Arch, and I was not prepared for how amazing it is. I expected it to be small. I don't know why, but it was anything but small. Delicate Arch stands 52 feet tall and 33 feet wide. With its robust size, the name it was given doesn't seem to match. But like all arches in the park, they are no match for the powerful erosive forces pummeling them year-round. Already you can see cracks forming in Delicate Arch, begging the question, how much longer will this grandiose monolith stand? It's easy to forget that arches are impermanent. Yet the fall of Wall Arch in 2008 reminded us that this landscape is ever-changing. After seeing the mind-blowing Delicate Arch, we headed to our campsite for the night. Or tried to.
Can we just flush out your eye real quick?
Like, it's literally clearing everything out right now, and I have things coming out of my throat and out of my nose.
I'm a little concerned about
Because
you.
oh, it's painful. It's so bright. I can't see. Just kidding, I can see.
That's what I love to hear when going.
I'm just being dramatic, but I
36 miles an hour. I can't see.
A squirt thingy is in my bag.
Behind me?
Yeah.
We're getting out of the car. We're doing it in here.
I think we're gonna try to do it in here.
Alright, set your head back.
Ah!
Is that better?
I don't know. There was a lot of water everywhere. Okay, we're gonna try it one more time. I feel better. That was very traumatic. That was very traumatic. Okay. I hate things in my eye. Okay. I can't even do eye drops. Okay. I'm gonna open my eyes. 1, 2, 3, open my eyes, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Ah! Okay. Yeah. I think I'm better. It's on video too. think I'm better.
But the geologist was not better.
So basically, I got sunscreen in my eye, and it was so painful, and I could not see. Have you ever been to the eye doctor where maybe they dilate one eye more than the other? That's what it was like, except extremely painful as well. And this lasted for hours and got worse throughout the day. So eventually I couldn't take it anymore and I had to have Jacob drive the rest of the way. Unfortunately, the campground that we wanted to stay at originally was all filled up. But that's kind of what you get when you plan a last-minute trip and try to do dispersed camping. So we continued down the road looking for campgrounds, and we kept driving and did not have any luck. And then eventually it became a dirt road, and we started descending into a canyon, which was a little nerve-wracking in my two-wheel drive truck. But my baby taco made it, and we found one of the best campsites I could have asked for. This is an unnamed campground in between the Ledge camping area and Hunter Canyon campground outside of Moab. It was around $20 a night and has some pretty clean vault toilets. There were plenty of spots available even on a Saturday night. And the best part of all, it was super quiet. If you are in the area, I highly recommend staying here. Unfortunately, we didn't have much time in the morning for exploration, but I would definitely come back here to do some hiking. Ooh, how's that soup? Good soup.
She's ready.
If you enjoyed this geology adventure, please like and subscribe for more adventures like this and comment down below where you would like to see me go soon. See you next time.